Hello everyone, this is Sandeep Anand. Today I'm going to bring out a couple of mental models and some life lessons as well as investing and business lessons from one of the most influential thinkers of our time. He's none other than Jim Rohn. He has lived almost 40 years of his life, spent 40 years of his life coaching and helping millions of people around the world sculpt their life strategies. He has written countless number of books, authored them, and my favorite being Seven Strategies for Wealth and Happiness. My investing mindset led to that book, and I love that book. I would recommend that book to even common people, anybody who want to achieve success in life and be happy around the success. Jim Rohn has given a lot of valuable lessons around personal development, business strategies, wealth building, a whole pursuit of whatever human being want to achieve in their lifehood. I will leave you with couple of video sessions from Jim Rohn. He talking about the power of reading and the power of having a rich mindset, which is very key for wealth. He talks about in that book, and I'll also condense these seven strategies for you in one slide of view. But I would still recommend going ahead and reading this book. Let's take a look.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. Shoaff said to me, doesn't that book and title intrigue you? Think and Grow Rich. Don't you have to read that book? Think and Grow Rich. I said, yes, sir. By Napoleon Hill. I went and found that book in a used bookstore. That's where I had to start. In a used bookstore. I paid less than 50 cents for it. I've still got it. It's one of the rare hardback covers. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Wow, Shoaff was right. Get a library started. It'll change your life. Any home over $200,000 has got a library. Why do you suppose that is? Wouldn't that make you curious? How come every home over $200,000 has got a library? Does that tell you something? Does that educate you at all? You say, well, I can't afford a $200,000 home. It doesn't matter what size home. Take your present apartment, clean out a closet, call it your library, and start acting intelligent. And start this process like I did. Start developing a library. Here's what your library needs to show: that you're a serious student of health and life, spirituality, culture, uniqueness, sophistication, economics, prosperity, productivity, sales, management, skills, values of all kinds. Let your library show you're a serious student. Don't be casual in learning. Don't be lazy in learning. Information is the key. Okay. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of health. Learning is the beginning of prosperity. Learning is the beginning of democracy, the beginning of freedom. All values, all virtues start with the learning process. Our lives are mostly affected by the way we think things are, not the way they are. The way we think they are affects us most. There's a subject we don't have time to get into tonight called better thinking habits. One of the major things Shoaff taught me when I met him, he said, poor thinking habits keeps most people poor. Not poor working habits. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard. And Shoaff taught me that the mind is like a factory, a mental factory. And whatever you think about all day long pours ingredients into this mental factory. And that's what builds the economic, social, financial fabric of your life. He quoted me a Bible phrase that says, as you think, so you become. How awesome. When he talked about poor thinking habits, he had me. I used to start the day reading the morning newspaper. I mean, you can believe that or not. I'd get a cup of coffee and read the paper. I'd load up on wars and riots and murders and stabbings and killings and bank robberies and muggings and car wrecks and tragedies. I'd even read the back pages. I seem to like that stuff for some weird reason. I'd load up on all that, and then I'd start the day. You can imagine the kind of days I used to have. You walk around on your financial knees.
So coming back to this book, Seven Strategies for Wealth and Happiness, it's a great book. It's like a blueprint for somebody who wants to achieve both wealth and happiness. And Jim Rohn says, he has to understand these five key words to live the life one desires. What are those five words? It's fundamentals. Fundamentals are 20% of things in the Pareto 80-20 rule. We all know 20% of things usually cause 80% of impact for the things, and he calls out some five to six things that creates a really maximum impact. Second is he talks about wealth, which is really a means to freedom, financial freedom, and we need to look at wealth as more like a ability or uninterrupted financial freedom one has from the bindings of the monotony that one goes through otherwise. So wealth is really a means to freedom. And third is happiness, which is really subjective. He calls this as more like reacting to the offerings of life by perception and enjoyment. It can be achieved from both giving and receiving. He has explained a lot. And that's my favorite of all the five. And discipline, which is a core of everything which on which success is built. He calls this like a foundation layer. And finally, success, what he calls it is the progress towards a goal and achieving the goal, and it's like a steady progress and finding goals and achieving them. Now, there are seven strategies he's laid out. One can go through in detail all of them. These are unlocking the power of goals. Goals is a first step, which is very important. Unless we have the goals, what we want to achieve, we are not progressing anywhere. Second is seeking that knowledge. Third is learning how to change. Fourth is controlling the finances, your finances. Fifth is mastering time, which is very essential to achieve any success. And sixth is surround yourself with winners. And finally, he says, learn the art of living well within the realms of constraints and possibilities. And so, put together all these seven things are key strategies for achieving wealth and happiness. So please go ahead and take this book and read through, which is like a blueprint, and I'm sure it'll help everyone to achieve the wealth and happiness, especially when it comes to the financial aspects of it. So thanks for staying with me. Hope this was helpful.